Okay. Hey, Simone. My sis on here. So my name's Loren. I am a celebrity news reporter, producer. I also have a YouTube channel where I kind of like just document like the journey and different things that I go through called Loren Lorosa TV. I recently started a full like clothing brand or like a merch line called Season of Solo, and I'm going to be getting into acting soon too because that's like what I really was trying to do. But all this other stuff popped up first.
Hey.
And I currently work with TMZ, so that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, this is exciting. I need to know when you first got the call and they said, "Hey, Loren, we need you to come to TMZ and we need you now." What was your first thought?
Well, so I started at TMZ as a tour guide, and at that time, I was actually a flight attendant for Delta. And if anybody knows anything about becoming a flight attendant, I didn't know before I applied because I literally just applied because I didn't have a job. But if you know anything about becoming a flight attendant, you know that like those jobs are like 1 in a million to get. Like people apply like their whole lives and never get back.
Yeah,
and some people take some like 20 times just sending an application just to get an interview. So when I got that job and I went through like 2 months of training for that, it was literally harder than getting through 4 years of college. I don't care what nobody say. I was just like, okay, my next job is going to be in entertainment. So I knew something was coming because I told myself, I'm not leaving this job until I get a job in entertainment. I'm about to be 25 years. I think I was about to be 25 years old at the time. I was like, I can't keep getting these really good jobs because I've always been good at getting jobs. So I was like, I can't keep getting these jobs, leaving a job. So I need to like really just stay here until my career draws me in. Like I'm just going to manifest it. So I have been applying for different stuff, saw the tour guide position, was emailing them like every day. And when they finally called me for an interview, not even to tell me I had the job, I was literally in the process of moving out of my apartment. And they were like, well, can you Skype in right now for an interview? And I was like, yeah, mind you, I'm literally like, we're moving furniture out. Wi-Fi is disconnected. My landlord's there.
Were you moving out of the state? Were you just,
I was moving. So I was based in Minneapolis as a flight attendant, but I was commuting from LA because they don't care where you live at as long as you get to work. So I was refusing to leave LA, but it eventually just got too much. Like flying into work every day,
I understand.
Trying to be in LA and audition while flying into work, I was just burning myself out. So I was just like, I'm just going to move to Minneapolis and just kind of give in and travel a little bit and vlog it and just see what happens. And then literally the day I was moving, I was just like, I remember the morning that my landlord came to do the walkthrough. I just said like a little prayer because I was like, I need my security deposit back. That's the first thing, God. But secondly, like I feel like right now I'm kind of giving up, and I don't want this to be me giving up. I just want it to I want to make sense. Like I want to just go with what I have right now, make it work, and then whatever else is supposed to come will come. And then literally that same day, I got the email from TMZ. So I was like, okay, this must be something. But I had to work it out. I was a little frantic. So my landlord let me go to his apartment and do my interview off his Wi-Fi. And then they were like, well, can you come in tomorrow for an in-person interview? So I was like, yeah. Had a whole trip, like a 3-day trip that I was on the next day. So I was freaking out, sort of, because you really can't not show up for a trip. Like being a flight attendant is not like a regular job where like you call out and you good. Like, you're not supposed to call out because it's hard to get crew to cover another crew. So I was freaking out.
So you're taking a chance by going for what you know you want to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was just like, if this don't work out, what you gonna do? Like, you ain't had a job. I had not had a job for like 3 to 4 months. Yeah, so I needed my job or whatever. So I was trying to figure it out. I was already on probation at work from calling out. I had literally called out to go to the Soul Train Awards. So I was just like, I can't get in trouble anymore.
You on the edge.
So at that point,
already.
Yeah, at that point, I was just like, if this is meant to be, it's gonna work out. So I remember I put in my request for paid time off for 3 days. When you're new, you never get that much paid time off. I got it approved, like it happened. I was like, okay, so maybe I'm supposed to go to this interview. Went to the interview, got the job, and then I just literally the same day I got the job, I called my manager and just was like, look, TMZ offered me this position. I don't know what to do. She was like, you should quit because that's what you want to do, and we'll always be here. So I was like, okay, I quit. So I can call you if I need to come back. She was like, I mean, you're going to have to reapply, but yeah, just let me know how it goes and we'll figure it out, whatever. So then I just like quit, and now I had no apartment again in LA. I hadn't started a job, so I technically had no job. I was just like, okay. So I got all my stuff. My landlord.
So what'd you do? Like, how did you come out of this?
Like, what am I going to do? So I just stayed at a friend's house and just figured it out.
Well, God made a way out of no way.
Yeah, he always do.
Always does.
Yeah.
Always does. And so obviously you're no stranger to having to have to hold it down. How are you coping with what's going on with the coronavirus? And I know that you guys in LA got hit really, really hard. So when you got the news that there was going to be a more stricter stay-at-home situation for you guys, what were your thoughts on that? Especially if you have family in Delaware, I imagine that being able to have to go to trips and see them and all of that kind of thing.
I'm actually in Delaware. Well, I'm actually on the East Coast right now. I came here because during all of this, we found out that my boyfriend's grandma passed away. So we had to come back here, but we had to wait some time because we were everything went crazy at once. Like before the lockdown happened, we had started hearing, like, my job started kind of like planning, like, okay, what if we can't be in this office anymore? And then you see Twitter and Google and all these places sending all their employees home. And then you start hearing about people losing their jobs. So, like, my first instinct, like, I literally was like, okay, if they tell us they don't need us, like, okay. So I just started thinking about, like, money I had saved, like, just all this stuff. Like, I instantly went into, like, hustle mode again. And I was just like, okay, if I have to do promos, like, I just started making up all these different plans of, like, if my income is tomorrow, like, what is the vibe is about to be? Because I'm not going back home. Like, I'm staying in LA. We gonna figure this out. But in the midst of all that, we end up having to come back here anyway. So I've been here for, like, the last week or so. But before I came here, the lockdown did happen. And it was a little bit, like, weird just to see it happening because it's not, like, something that you would think would happen.
It's a real situation for everyone, I think.
Yeah, but
you've seen little, shows or whatever about this happening, but for it to actually be us in real time.
Contagion, and that scared the hell out of me. Like, literally, when I watched Contagion, I was like, okay, like, this could get really, really bad, and I feel like it's only getting worse right now. That's the scary part of it, is, like, we don't know when this is going to end. I feel like they don't know everything they need to know about the virus, so, like, a lot more people are going to get sick. And we don't know how long people are going to be sick for. Some people are making it. Some people are not. Like, that's the scariest part. But work-wise, I feel like everything that I was already doing kind of works around situations like this. It's just, you really need to, it's like when you're working for a brand, so it's different with me, like, on YouTube or Instagram and, like, taking paid ads or whatever I choose to do on there. But when you're working for a company in entertainment, every single day before this lockdown. It's an essential job, might I add, but go ahead. Yeah, every single day before this lockdown, like, you got to go in fighting. Like, yo, I got to secure my spot every single day. Because, like, you know how many people want to do this. So when they switched from us working in the studio to going digital, I was like, okay, now is really game time. Because not only are we not with our managers, so they're, like, looking to see how well we can do our own, but they know that we're skilled. We have our jobs for a reason. Yeah. But it's just, like, productivity is a lot different when you're sitting at home in the living room and they're watching that. And then also we're still taping shows and, like, we still have to stay upbeat with everything that's going on. And then we still also have to worry. So I want to know from you, how are you changing your strategy for getting news as fast as you normally do? I mean, doesn't that stay the same? The way you get information stays the same because it's always been digital. But this first person doing digital gets it first, right? Yeah. So how are you changing or vamping it up? If you're a producer or a reporter for that's in breaking news, because people got to understand that, like, there's different levels to this. Like, you have people who just report trending news and viral news, and that's stuff that has already hit mainstream media. It's going viral on, like, Instagram or Twitter already. But when you work with a brand like where I work at, it's like we're breaking the story. That means sometimes you're the first to know about a lot of things that hit nationwide. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes global. Yeah. But, yeah, everything is, like, over the phone, over the computer. Like, it's already digital anyway. So that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of my jobs, especially this one, it already kind of was shaped for if this had to happen. Not if this had to happen, but, like, it's digital. So we're good in a certain extent. It's just a thing of, like, now kind of, like, figuring out the TV shows part of it. Like, and I think that we've done a good job. We're still fully in production right now, like, with all of our shows and stuff like that. It's just more of, like, a conscious thing on you because, like, I feel like, okay, I'm at home. I can't slack. So I had to get used to the, like, anxiety almost a little bit. Like, I had to trick myself into relaxing. Yeah. Every single minute of the day, even if I was in the office, things are not always working out every single minute. So I had to tell myself, just because you're home, it doesn't mean that if something doesn't work out for, like, 20, 30 minutes on a story, it's not going to happen that day. The same. Exactly. You talk about the pressures of working
with a company like TMZ and having to have the story and needing the right information fast or what have you. What kind of pressure is that on you as a Black woman, a beautiful Black woman at that? What kind of pressure is that for you? And do you feel like it's your responsibility to withhold a certain standard when it comes to media?
You don't really even have I don't even have a choice for it not to be. Like, especially because, like, it's not a lot of, like, people doing what I'm doing where I'm at right now. So you literally, like, it's so crazy because I was literally talking about this the other day. Like, it's a lot of pressure because if something is wrong, people love to point a finger. And I think it's wrong because we really take a lot of pride in, like, making sure it's not, because, like, you can't be a reputable brand if things are wrong. But nobody ever likes everything. So you have some people that'll be okay with something, some people that hate things. And then, like, if it's that, especially if it's something that is important to us, like, they'll come find you. Like, y'all don't even know my name. Y'all just call me the Black girl at TMZ, but y'all come and find my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, just to leave comments about how you feel about the way I covered something, or the fact that I speak proper, or something I didn't comment on, or maybe we use a certain word in a story, like little things like that. And it's just like a lot of things that you don't even think twice about, you instantly take on because people just, they instantly are like, you're our voice because you look like us. Now, on the other side, not just being like a Black woman, just being a person in that industry in general, it's a lot of pressure only because you understand the power of the platform. Like, if I'm working at, right now, for instance, the CDC, we're depending on the CDC so much right now. They can't get numbers wrong. If they get numbers wrong, they mess up a lot of things for a lot of different people around the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things where, like, you just really understand what role your job plays in a lot of things. And you're just a part of a big picture too. Like, I'm not the only person that works there. I'm not the only Black person that works there. And I'm not the only girl that works there either, or whatever. But you got to get it right. Like, you got to get it right. A lot of it is like training. Like, we're trained to, like, you know, we have like sources, we fact check. I have an amazing team that I work with that we bounce ideas off of and stuff like that. So I'm good.
I got another question for you.
It's a responsibility for sure.
Now, I know you've interviewed Mariah Carey, Larry King, Michael B. Jordan, and Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, you did your research.
What are some things that all of them have in common? And do you see yourself in any of them?
In common? I can say they were all very personable. Like, for them to be, like, really big celebrities, they were all, like, I didn't feel like I was talking to a celebrity. Like, it was just like a regular conversation. Like, it just wasn't, you know, you think of like an icon or a star or whatever, you think like, I don't know, like, it just was regular. So I like the humility in all of them. At least when I met them anyway. People have their own stories, but when I met them, that was one thing that stood out to me. And I think for Michael B. Jordan, when I did get the chance to talk to him, we were talking about Creed, and I was asking him, like, you know, at that time, he was like one of the, like, rising Black faces as an actor.
Gotcha. Yeah.
He had a lot of responsibility on him, or still does, honestly, because there's not a lot of Black male leads in his age. Like, we see the same people doing the same roles. It's him, like, you know what I'm saying? It's Chadwick Boseman. Like, we have a lot of the same people doing the same stuff. So we talked a little bit about, like, responsibility and stuff. And I don't even think I understood it then. Because, like, you know, I was working for a smaller outlet, just on the camera. I was working for EU World Web at the time. So I was amongst all the other Black journalists and stuff like that. But getting into, like, a different lane, and like we just talked about, there being that responsibility of, like, you really got to, like, not even watch what you say, because I think that you should say how you feel. But you have to really understand, once you say that, what the consequences of that are. So you have to really, it has to make sense. Like, if you decide to say that, did you really need to say that? And if so, what was the reasoning behind it? Because it's going to affect somebody. So he was talking about how the roles that he takes, and, like, the way that he is within the roles, and just how he is on set, the things he says no to on sets and stuff like that, is a part of the responsibility. And I didn't get it then, but, like, now I get it. Like, when you're young, you just want to work. You tired of being broke. You want to make money. And then you get to a point where you're like, damn, people really are like what I'm doing, it really, like, matters. Like, if I fuck up, I really fucked up right now. Like,
that's right. Yeah.
So that's one thing that stood out with him. Sylvester Stallone, I didn't really get into a deep conversation with him. And Mariah Carey, it was just like a fun conversation. So.
Okay. So with having, knowing that you have that type of responsibility in business, how do you think having, or do you think you have to have that responsibility in your day-to-day life? Meaning, like, if there's, I don't know, do you feel like children have to look upon you as a public figure, or is it just in your career that you need to know exactly what you're saying?
I mean, I'm not out here trying to be like Martin Luther King or nothing, because, like, I got my own stuff that I'm dealing with every single day and, like, trying to figure out and trying to be better about. But, like, I do feel at one point I felt like you could separate, okay, this, like, there's a podium over here that people put me on and I can do that. And then I can, like, leave that over there and then come over here and, like, whatever. But now I just feel like you can't, like, it has to, it gotta all make sense. And, like, for me, like, I'm 28, so I'll be 30, then I'll be 35 or whatever. So, like, now it's about, like, really, like, building something that, like, can speak for me before I even come around. Right. Or, like, when I leave, it's still speaking for me. And I want that to be, like, authentically speaking for me. Like, I want the vibes to really be, like, I want you to, when you meet me, I want you to be like, yo, you're just like how I thought you. I don't want it to be like I have to act a certain way or I have to whatever. So whether people choose to look up to me as a role model or not is not something that I'm putting on myself, but it's something that comes with everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm nowhere near where I'm going to be. Like, I know that there's a bigger calling on all of this. So I know that that's going to happen naturally. So I do try and, like, watch certain things. And, like, there are certain...
So we got twerking videos. I'm going to scroll back through your page. I'm going to find some...
Yeah. Like,
that's cool. If you do it,
it's what it is. When I graduated from college, I deleted everything. Because I was like, I'm going into the real world. I don't want nobody to see me turning up and being lit.
Yeah.
I wish I would have kept all that stuff. Because it's all a part of, like, my journey. And, like, I'm a person. I love to go out. I'm the party friend. I love to have a drink. Like, that's what I do. I'm grown. I can do that. But I also get up and handle my business, get my job done. I take care of my own responsibilities. Like, and I think the more you can show people the full picture, it don't matter if people are looking up to you or not. Because, like, you just really just living your life. But, like, nobody's perfect. And I really am. When I tell you I'm not out here trying to be Martin Luther King, I'm very serious about that. Because, like, it's just not. It's a lot that comes. And I don't say that to mean that, like, I think everything you do should have a purpose to it, but you shouldn't insert yourself in things that, like, you are not ready to attach yourself to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like I
have to learn that.
Yeah, like, I can be an activist, I can be a role model, I can be all of that. But there are just certain things that I know I'm not ready to take on the pressure of speaking on behalf of, or, you know, my life is not all the way together enough to be the face of it yet or whatever, but, like, I'm not shying away from it. I'm just growing into it. I'm not rushing it.
I get that. So I know that you're dominating the marketing, entertainment, YouTube, and fashion industries. What do you think sets you apart from the rest?
I just think it's my story for real, because everything's kind of based around, like, me and, like, the things that I've been through. And there are people who've been through similar things, but I don't, like, there's nobody that can do, like, a chit chat with Amanda Sapp like Amanda Sapp. You know? So, like, I feel like, even with, somebody asked me the other day, like, what brand would I compare my clothing brand to? And I was seeing that, like, you can find a little bit of everything on all the
And you're talking about Season of Solo, yes?
Yeah, Season of Solo.
And we want to definitely talk about that. Guys, I've got, this is Chit Chat with Amanda Sapp. I'm having Loren Lorosa on the Instagram Live with us today, guys. And she's giving us some good nuggets. I feel empowered already, and I know we just really started this call. But you're doing an absolutely amazing job, and I appreciate these nuggets that you're giving out today. Continue.
Thank you. I was just telling them that, like, you're going to find a bunch of people doing the same things and selling the same things and, like, whatever for the rest of the time or whatever. But, like, it's just really, like, what you bring to the table. It's depending on, like, your life experiences and, like, what you've been through. So I think that's what sets me apart. And I also think that, like, you got to think about it, like, a lot of the big designer brands, like, when it comes to clothing, or a lot of the actresses that we see on TV that maybe we looked up to, they have certain things in common. But there are certain roles that, like, you want to see Kerry Washington play because, like, we love Regina Hall, but, like, she's not Kerry Washington. And we love Kerry Washington, but she's not Regina Hall. And it's literally like their life experiences and everything that has built them to the person that they are today that sets them apart. And that's literally just like it for me. Like, I don't think that there's, like, much else to it besides that. I think that's the rhyme to the reason. So
that makes sense. I know I mentioned all of the people, the high celebrity folk that you've interviewed. Who is someone that you're looking to interview?
Goal interview was to sit down and have a conversation with Jay-Z.
Who? I didn't hear who you said.
Jay-Z. Jay-Z is, like,
okay,
my number one.
Why him?
I love talking to people who are like really smart, and I think he's like such a smart person. He's very strategic at what he does when it comes to business, when it comes to personal life. I love the way he's like his like just watching his career is like it's grown so much and it's elevated and transitioned so much, but he's never lost touch of like his self.
Yeah.
And his self has never lost relevancy in all of that. And then just like even in like relationship, like just I don't know him and Beyonce, of course, but just watching him and Beyonce like just be married and like from the little bit that we get to see, I don't know, like I just feel like when they do open up about stuff, I learn so much from both of them, honestly. But like I like talking to people that I can learn something from, that like you really just like shut up and listen, because it's just like, yo, you really just drop some gems real quick. And I think that he would be a perfect person. My second person is Kevin Hart, and then on that list is Beyonce, Issa Rae, and Ava DuVernay.
Before you go to an interview, I know you said you'd rather talk to someone that you can learn something from. What is the process that you take before each interview? And is that something you think about first?
Yeah, I mean, you can sit down and talk to anybody if you can direct the conversation the right way and learn something. That's the kind of the point of the interview. I always, like, when I do interviews, now for work, it's normally story angle focused, but like you're still trying to learn something. But like when I used to do interviews just on my YouTube channel by myself, a lot of it was like, yes, I wanted to interview people who like I was excited to meet and to talk to for that same reason, because like I know if I care to learn from them, somebody else does too. And then all I would do is just like sit and do my research. So I would be on Google really heavily, go through social media, like see who their friends are, see what projects they've worked in or worked on. Just little stuff like that, like the littlest things, like who they tag on Instagram, what those people do, where do they hang out at, just to try to learn as much about the person as I can, so that like when we do sit down and have a conversation, it's like two friends talking to each other. Because then I'm learning more about you.
I want you to go ahead and shout out your HBCU real quick, because I'm sure some of them is tuned in. Okay, and then also I have a question for you as an interviewer. What is a question that you would ask someone that's always getting interviews? And what's the best question that you've ever heard on an interview? And the worst?
For the first question, I don't really know. It depends on the person. But that is one technique that I used to try and do when I was just interviewing people every single day, all day, just as like content for YouTube. I would try and watch as many interviews like within the last year of theirs that I could, starting with the most recent, and like I would try and remember everything that they were at and not ask that, because it's like you want to continue to tell the story. So like I want to ask something new. But it really depends on the person though. Like,
okay, well then not worst question. Then what about just the worst? What somebody just it could be anyone. It doesn't be the celebrity per se, but just like I guess their attitude maybe. Is there someone, if they come in with a certain attitude, then you're like, I don't want to take this interview today?
I've never had somebody like that. Like I've had people with like not the most friendly attitudes,
but
not to the point where like I was like, okay, I'm not doing this. It was a learning lesson though, because like I'm used to people like warming up to me, and like,
I want to know about this learning lesson.
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna name the person. But he's a GOAT. He's definitely a legend. And I was on the carpet, and honestly, I think he's just like this in general. Like I think he's just a very like stern, like straight to the point person.
Sure.
So the questions that I was asking, they were really good questions. He was just like very tight-lipped answers, and like almost like, okay, what's next? That's it. And I was just like, I got through my questions, and I was just like, okay, thank you.
Right.
And Right.
So human-to-human contact is something that most media folk are used to doing. That's all we know. But for me, it is, at least. How are you going to change once we are out of this pandemic, this coronavirus pandemic? What's going to change about your human-to-human contact? after this? And do you believe that social distancing is still going to be the norm?
Honestly, I feel like this whole thing is making people realize how dirty people are. I know for me, I'm okay with not being around a bunch of people right away after this. But like I feel like I was taking like the ability.
Yeah.
I haven't done that like I want to do. And I know that I have to work hard to get anywhere in what I'm trying to do. But I just want to get a little bit better at like finding a balance of like, okay, but it's okay. Like you can afford rent now. You can afford to travel a little bit more now. You can afford to treat yourself here and there. You just have to learn like how to be obedient and doing all of that. Like you can't splurge, but you can have a little fun. So learning that balance so I can like explore life. Because I feel like when you come from a point of like not having nothing or like making it from not having nothing, the minute you get something, you feel like, oh, I got to hold on to this. Because if it leave, I don't know when it's coming back again. When in reality, it's like, if you made a way once, you can make a way again. You just got to be smart so that you're not hitting rock bottom again. So like saving your money, but also setting up a travel budget, like setting up a party budget. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be better at that versus being so like work, then step away to party a little bit, then work. And I have a group of friends who like, all we've been doing is talking and planning trips and stuff. So that's a big encouragement too, because when you got people to go with, you get up and go.
Right.
But people dirty, so I'm not rushing to get back around them.
You like it the way, kind of like it the way it is right now.
You gotta watch the movie Contagion, and you'll literally be like, "Yo, I never realized how dirty people are and how they pass it off so easily."
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Okay, so we know how you're going to be once this is over. Let me ask you something. If you were not doing TV, if you were not a producer, if you're not at TMZ, what would you be doing?
I would still be producing celebrity interviews on my YouTube channel. That's how my YouTube channel got started. I started a show.
That's your YouTube channel, right?
Yes, Loren Lorosa TV. And that was honestly the show's name because it was a little bit of everything. It was like I would go to like Grammy weekend, BET weekend, anywhere that I knew people would be and be willing to like sit down and have a conversation with somebody, specifically people in hip hop. And not even by choice. Like that was just people that I would run into contact with the most. So I had relationships in that area. In reality TV, like I was doing a lot of like the housewives stuff and stuff like that. But I was doing that. Like I was probably pushing out like maybe 3 to 4 interviews a week. I was getting pickup. Like I remember when Baller Alert first started, my first interview went viral with Safari. I was the first person to interview him after he broke up with Nicki Minaj. And that like went crazy just from my YouTube channel, and Baller Alert picked it up. So I probably would still just be focused on that, I guess. Because I don't really know. Because I didn't have any offers before this.
Tell us a little bit more about Season of Solo.
So Season of Solo is, and my business partner is back here right now, working area. Season of Solo is our clothing brand, and for me, it started 2016 when I moved back to LA, and I moved back to LA after going there once I graduated from college and going back home for a little bit. And I was working in fashion PR. My background has always been in fashion and TV. And I hated my job. Like, it was horrible. My boss was like, it wasn't even my direct boss was really hard to deal with. And it just got to a point where I found myself physically being like threatened. And I was just like, you know what? I know that I'm gonna have to defend myself if it ever gets there.
Yeah.
And I don't want that lawsuit. So I'm just gonna quit. So I walked out of that job one day and I didn't have a job. So my friend was like, why don't you just start selling stuff? Like people come to your events that you throw. I used to throw events in Delaware for money. So she was like, if you can make people come to an event, you can make somebody buy something online. So we went downtown and I just happened to end up in the swimsuit department and we just started selling swimsuits. And I remember I got my first 6 and then I sold those and I got my first 12 and then I just kept going back. And I was like, okay, so people can really buy stuff from me. Like they are interested. And I've always wanted to do like a real like fashion, like brand, clothing brand. But I wanted.
You had a store going on.
Couture stuff, like actually this a lot of money to start up in that way.
Yeah.
So I was always kind of just waiting. And then one day I was just like, yo, what you waiting for? Like if people will buy stuff from you, why don't you start with what you have? So I was just like, I need a partner. Like, I need somebody who can, like, help me, like, when it comes to, like, logistics, finances, creative stuff. Like, I need somebody kind of opposite of me who, like, understands what I'm trying to do, but also trying to do it themselves, that, like, we can, like, make it work. So I don't even remember how, but I remember I brought up the conversation to Ariel, who's back here. And she got her mask on.
How are you? You need to step to the phone right quick. We need to see you.
She said, come to the phone. Okay. She was like, yeah, I'm with it. So we took Solar Rosa somewhere, and now it's like a full clothes.
Hey, I see you with the mask on.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay safe out here.
I understand. Okay, so y'all got together with Season of Solo.
Yeah, and then we dropped some clothing, and that stuff was selling, and then
yeah. That's right. I like this Season of Solo. Yeah. That's right. Caldwell, Lindsay Pictures, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah, so y'all can shop it, and we're having a big blowout sale. Things are up to 45% off right now. So go check us out. The link is in my bio.
Okay, Loren, I want to ask you, give us 3 things or fun facts about Loren that you could tell us today.
What's a fun
fact? That's 3. Fun facts.
Fun.
We know you work a lot.
Okay. All right. So one fun fact, I think I'm funny and none of my friends do.
Okay. That's funny in itself.
I don't know. What else is fun about me? I'm from Delaware. Most people think that's weird.
Why is that weird, though? Why do they think that's weird?
Most people are like, especially in LA, they're like, you're from what? I didn't even know there was Black people in Delaware. And I'm like,
right.
A lot of us. Or they'll be like, you're the first person I ever met from Delaware. Like, I didn't know regular people lived there.
Yeah, I don't really hear very much.
We hear, and Delaware is popping. And what else? I don't know what another fun fact is. And you sent me these questions. I think I've been trying to figure this out since like earlier this morning. What are 3 fun facts? And I don't have any.
Well, you kind of pretty much answered it. We want to make sure that people are inspired when they tune in. You're the expert. You know what I mean? And there's someone who is watching this and saying, you know what? I want to be like Loren Lorosa when I grow up, when I finish college, when I do whatever it is that I need to be done doing. And so I knew that after reading all that stuff, I was like, yo, yeah, she's perfect. She's perfect.
Thank you.
So
that's a little crazy. I just got out of college.
See? Another reason why people who should be inspired by this. I want you to go.
Fun fact. I have a
third fun fact ready.
I'm a first generation college student, so I'm the first person.
All right.
I'm the first person in my immediate family.
That's great news.
Get through college. Yeah, it's to actually graduate.
Congratulations. So with all of this being said, with everything that's going on with the virus, with you still maneuvering, still being able to work, with all of this going on, what's something that you hope doesn't change outside of the fact that we get to use the internet? You get to use that more to work. What's something that you hope doesn't change after this is all over?
So one thing that I see right now is a lot of people being like creative outside of so for instance, right? At 28 years old, I have a lot of friends right now that when I was in college, they were like the go-tos for everything creative. Like they were throwing the parties, they were creating the organizations. They were like, we don't care about student alumni. We gonna make it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they were the like leaders of the Renaissance on my HBCU campus, right? Yeah. And then real life hits after you graduate, and these same people, still amazing people, but they become people who, you know, they get jobs just because you got to pay bills. Like real life does hit. Them student loans don't wait. You know what I'm saying? So I see a lot more people being like, you know what? Since I'm working from home, let me DJ real quick, because this is what I've always wanted to do.
Exactly. Everybody's DJ now.
Right.
And that's okay. And that's okay.
I like music, so I'm here for it. Or like just something as simple as like, I saw one girl the other day tweet, she tweeted and asked, she was like, can I get paid for basically talking to people who want to create brands and giving them the ideas for it? Because like I always get these ideas for businesses, but like I just get them and I don't want to start a business. I'm happy in my job and God bless me to have an income, but what is that? And then I saw people replying to her like, girl, that's a brand consultant. Like that's a, you know what I'm saying? Like you could literally be like a company who like helps start up companies and get brands and helps them get licensed and all that. And like she was just like, okay, cool, I'm gonna look into it, because she's home right now. She has the time and she's thinking about that, because she's just sitting still and thinking. So I hope that that's something that people really keep. And I think honestly this whole situation is going to really create a new wave of like entrepreneurs. That's right. Because people see, number one, jobs, like it's nothing a job can do for you right now if they're not making money. But like if you find a way to still make money no matter what the circumstance is, or still be able to influence people no matter what the circumstance is, you're always good. So I think it will inspire a lot of people to do that. But I just hope that that's one thing that people keep up, because I think people just lack the ability to like fake things until they make it, because like it's a scary situation. But when you put against the wall, like right now everybody's back is against the wall. Yeah, you really don't have no choice right now but to really sit and think about like what it is that you love, what you want to do. Some people, you know, unfortunately actually lost their jobs right now, so they're really trying to figure it out because they have to. Right. I say take the time to really do something and put your energy towards something that you really want to do, because we don't have nothing but time right now. That's right. So I hope that continues, because I think you have a lot more people that are actually happy in the world, even if they try it and it doesn't work. Very good. This has been a great conversation with you, Loren. I appreciate you again taking this time out. I want you to go ahead and leave everybody that's tuned in here. I don't know if you can see, I don't know what it looks like on your end. I don't know if you can see everybody that's tuned in or not. Okay. Well, it's too many for me to have to list all of their names, but I definitely want to let you know that we appreciate you for giving the nuggets that you have here with Chit Chat with Amanda Sapp. Is there a quote or scripture that has helped you through your career? Yes, I have a quote and I have a scripture. Okay. So my quote is from my mentor. Her name is Lori Hayes, and she always used to tell us warning comes before destruction. And then my scripture is faith without work is dead. Okay. Faith without work is dead. Yeah. Very good. Very good. And if you would, please go ahead and leave us with your YouTube channel, how people can follow you, how they can get in touch with you, and all the good stuff. Yes. Okay. So first of all, you guys and how we can get Season of Solo. Yes, you guys can shop with us. I'm actually going to type it right here. You can shop with us at Season of Solo. And you literally can go right to the Instagram, Season of Solo, and tap on photos and actually shop. We're having a huge sale right now. Crash the site sale. There's items that are marked up to 45% off. And we do have stuff for guys and girls. And then, so a lot of the stuff I've been talking about, I've literally been vlogging and recording it since day one. So August, I think it was like August 16th, 2016, I moved back to LA. I've been recording for YouTube since that day, just really telling my story. I mean, like from the day I quit my job that I mentioned, I'm crying in the car, trying to figure it out. Like, y'all will see everything. And I still record and upload stuff now. So if you're looking for like some inspiration, if you're trying to move out of state, trying to start a new career or whatever, you want to really see somebody like go through the shit, because like it's a lot of things you go through even today. Catch up my YouTube channel. That's linked in my bio. It's Loren Lorosa TV on YouTube. And then, I mean, I work with TMZ, so you can catch all the shows and catch us there. We're on Monday through Friday. We have a daytime show and an evening show. Just check your local listings depending on where you live. And we're launching a new show on Monday. Via Quibi. Quibi has a... I've been hearing about that. Yep.
What is
TMZ
Quibi?
has a show on there. Yep. So you'll see us on there, huh?
What exactly is Quibi? It's QUIBI, right, or something like that?
Yeah, it's literally like it reminds me of like it's like a Netflix, sort of kind of like a Hulu or Disney Plus. It's just like a platform that will have a lot of different content that you can stream, from fashion to entertainment news to like real, like the hard hitting news.
Do they have like TV shows too, or just like
TV shows? There'll be movies on there, like, and it's like a lot of big name people participating, like Chance the Rapper, Lena Waithe. I think Spielberg has something on there. It's a lot of people. Like,
that's cool.
It's about to hit, and when it hits, it's going to hit hard. But you guys will see TMZ on there. We have a show called No Filter, where we're doing like some of our like breaking news and stuff, but in a more like more of a fun way. So I think y'all will really enjoy it. It's literally No Filter. So check us out on there. That airs on Monday the 6th. So
very cool.
That's it. And then follow me on Instagram too, because everything I do, I post to my social media accounts.
Oh, and tell them you did post the. Did you tag your Instagram in this? This is your name. This is your name.
Is the Instagram that just posted Season of Solo. This is my Instagram, Loren Lorosa. I'm Loren Lorosa TV on YouTube. If you just search my name, you'll see everything. Everything is kind of cohesive. So, and I do talk back, so you can comment, you can DM me, all that good stuff.
Loren Lorosa.
Yep.
Thank you for joining me with Chit Chat. Thank you for joining me with Chit Chat with Amanda Sapp. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. You did a really good job. Like, I've done a couple interviews this week, and you did a really good job.
Thank you. Hey, I hope I make the cut. I'd love to be in your weekly roundup.
You are. That's why I was like, make sure you